intelligent Black people. Also, welcome to the Black Financial Channel. I want to talk to you guys about DoorDash and Airbnb. DoorDash and Airbnb, their stocks are already sinking. The reports that I'm seeing are that DoorDash and Airbnb both dropped between 7 and 10% so far today. And this is just the beginning. And so if you know, I talked about DoorDash and Airbnb IPOs recently. And I told you guys that these IPOs were suckers investments. These companies are not companies that, in my view, are stocks that you want to invest in because the IPOs are just kind of ridiculous. And so we're going to actually break that down for you on the Black Financial Channel starting right now. So good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. We are here for the Black community. It doesn't mean you have to be Black to be here, but the Black community comes first. That is what we call the hashtag B1 philosophy. So if you agree with that philosophy, put hashtag B1 in the chat. If you believe that Black people should come first, if you believe the Black community should be our top priority, if you believe that if we don't do it, nobody else will, we must fix ourselves before we can go save the world, put a hashtag B1 in the chat if you agree with me. Now let's talk about DoorDash and Airbnb. I'm not going to reiterate what I talked about the other day. I talked about these companies extensively. If you go to the Black Financial Channel, theblackfinancialchannel.com, you can find the commentary that I did on this already. So I'm not going to reiterate what I talked about already. All I'm going to say is that the market is already showing what we talked about the other day. The market is already showing that Airbnb and DoorDash are pretty much, from what I see, from where I stand, you know, myself and all the other financial expert guys, from where we stand, and women as well. And when I say guys, I mean universal guys, not just men, right? But from where we stand, DoorDash and Airbnb are suckers investments. These are companies that are way super overpriced. Their IPO shot through the roof. It is really changing how companies are thinking about going public now, because DoorDash and Airbnb, the original investors and the owners of that company, who owned the companies when they were private, are kicking themselves because they're thinking, wow, here I was, I asked you guys to pay $55 a share and you were willing to pay over $100 a share. I should have doubled my price. I should have asked for more. It's almost like, you know, it reminds me of when I was finishing my PhD at Ohio State University. I was interviewing for the job market, and I wanted to just make some money. I'd never made any money in my life, and so I would have been happy making $100,000 a year. And which you know was actually lower than what the average PhD was getting in finance at that time. And so I talked to Syracuse University, and I met a Black guy named Howard, who was like kind of the Black recruiter for Syracuse. And I remember we had a negotiation, and in the negotiation, he said, "How much money do you want?" And you know what so I said, well, you know, I said, I don't know, but why don't you make me an offer? So he said, how about $100,000 a year? I said, okay, you know, I said, that's okay, but I think I'd like to have at least 115,000. And the very next day, Howard calls me and he says, I got you 115,000. And at that moment, at that very moment, I knew I was a sucker. At that moment, I knew I'd left money on the table. Those who understand negotiation know exactly why I knew at that moment I left money on the table. Why did I know I left money on the table? Because it was too easy for him to respond and give me exactly what I wanted. He instantly said yes. He instantly said, here you go. Instantly said, okay. He didn't have to think about it. He didn't have to go get special approval. He didn't take 2 weeks to come back. He didn't come back with a counter offer. He literally gave me exactly what I asked for. And at that point, I said, damn. So for the next decade, because your base pay determines how much you make, you know, in the future, because at that point you're getting 2-3% raises. Because of that move, I literally lost a ton of money over the next 10 years because every raise I got was based on that tiny, well, not tiny. I'm not making fun of anybody that makes less money than me, but at that time, at that time I was the only African American in the country to get a PhD in finance, so I didn't know I was hot stuff. And so, and then I talked to another friend who says, yeah, I talked to the same guy. He offered me 145, right? And so why do I bring this story up? Well, because when you look at Airbnb and DoorDash, and companies are deciding to go public and they're putting stock out on the market, they're trying to figure out, well, what are people willing to pay for these companies? What price can we offer that is going to give a high likelihood that the market is going to absorb this stock at its current price? So when they did the analysis, they said, this is our company's worth is about $50 to $60 a share. And then they saw the market was really excited. They pushed it up a little bit. They said, well, let's take a chance. Let's go into the 60s. Well, the market literally pumped the stock price up to well over $100 a share. In fact, even as of this moment, DoorDash is trading at $152 per share. Airbnb is trading at $127 per share. Those prices, based on all estimates that I'm aware of, are way too high. The rent is too damn high for those two companies. And so here's what's going on right now with Airbnb and DoorDash. Now the analysts are stepping out and saying, this is crazy. This doesn't make any sense. And analyst recommendations will move the price of a stock because that's important information. The analysts are the ones who understand the valuation of the company more than anybody else. So because analysts have now come out and said both of these companies are overpriced, I think for DoorDash for one company was reduced from a buy rating to a neutral rating, which means if you hold it, just hold it, but don't buy it. I think Airbnb was pushed down from neutral to sell, like sell. The suckers are out there, sell it if you can, because it ain't gonna stay this high. And as a result of these modifications in analyst ratings, both of these stocks have dropped like a brick today. I believe that that's the beginning, though. I believe these stocks are going to continue to drop. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm underestimating the power of suckerology. Maybe I'm underestimating just how long irrational exuberance can last. Maybe I'm looking at this like when somebody's on the crack pipe, that they're only going to be high for about maybe 10, 20 minutes before they need more crack. Maybe they're going to be high all day. Maybe they're going to be high all week. I have no idea. But all I do know is that this story is probably not going to end well for either one of these two companies. When you have valuations that are that high, one of the things that's happening is that you're basing the valuation not on what the company has done, but on what you think the company is going to do. You're basing it not on what the company has in its actual bank account, but what you believe the company is going to earn. Well, the problem with that is that now you created this very, very fragile little bubble where any little bad piece of information can pop that bubble, right? I compare it to dating. You ever see somebody that falls in love really fast? And maybe she meets a man, he's really smooth and really smart, and really sharp, and he says all the right things. So she gets carried away. She starts thinking, okay, so once we start dating, we're going to have a baby and we're going to name the baby Ted, and we're going to get a house with a white picket fence. And I'm in dentistry and he's a lawyer, and we're going to live in this neighborhood. You ever see people like that who will literally plan out the next 20 years of their life with a person because they had two really good dates and a nice kiss at the end? Right. And so what happens to that person? Well, that person's setting themselves up to be severely disappointed because any negative piece of information, because you've stacked up all these hopes and dreams off of one little bit of information you have about this guy, then any little thing that goes wrong is going to crush that person. Right. It's going to crush them because they've set very high expectations. And high expectations can be easily destroyed and dismantled and ruined very quickly. So with these companies, the fact that these prices are so insanely high means that the market has set insanely high expectations for these companies. We're looking at DoorDash and we're saying, oh my God, DoorDash is going to grow at an astronomical rate. DoorDash will never have any competition. DoorDash is going to take over the industry. DoorDash is going to do amazing things. So if anything happens to disrupt that, any information comes out that kills the fantasy, then DoorDash stock will fall like a brick. Airbnb will fall like a brick. Right now, what you're seeing is just a smidgen of what is yet to come, in my opinion. As of right now, DoorDash on this particular day, on December 14th at approximately 1:07 p.m. Eastern time, DoorDash has dropped 12% today, which is a big jump for one day, and Airbnb has dropped 8.48%. I believe that's going to continue. But then again, who knows? Okay. So anyway, Montez says, I need to invest in Dr. Boyce's programs. I've already made more money listening to him on his shows. I can only imagine how much I can make. Oh, well, wow. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that testimonial. Thank you. And I'm very happy that you're making money. And I wouldn't be here if I didn't think I could support you and help you. So by the way, so if you do want to actually take my stock market investing class, feel free to go to the blackstockmarketprogram.com. It's really cool because not only do you have like this amazing curriculum that you can't get anywhere else, because we put together these theories and these ideas and these models based on Black wealth. It's specifically designed for Black people, not for anybody else. But then also, there's a section called What Dr. Boyce is Buying. So you can go there, and if you just want to see what stocks I'm buying and what I'm doing, you can literally just look at that if you're not sure what to do on your own. So and then there's a private blog where you can send questions to me, and I answer every single question that's on the blog because I can't always answer questions on the internet or as many as I want to. So feel free to go to the blackstockmarketprogram.com, the blackstockmarketprogram.com. The first month costs $1, so give it a try there. So anyway, I got to go, guys. What's the difference between the two options classes? One's monthly, one is a master class that I recorded. So it's one lump. It's just one piece of information that covers the entire master class that we did. So if you want to go take a look, feel free to go to stockoptionsmasterclass.com. That's stockoptionsmasterclass.com. It's really, really good. The reviews were extraordinary, and we cover everything involving stock options. For those of you that want to add options to your portfolio, and I highly recommend that because options allow you to protect your investment. It allows you to scale up your investment. It allows you to do a lot of things that you can't do just by buying stock. And it takes a lot less capital to make some of these moves. So I highly recommend you study stock options so you can learn how they work and how to add that to your portfolio. So feel free to go to stockoptionsmasterclass.com. Okay, guys. So I'm going to get out of here. So mark my words. Feel free to record this video. This is my prediction. I believe Airbnb and Doordash stocks are not going to do so great in the future. Also, another thing about IPOs that you may not know is that IPOs in general don't do that well. When they look at a lot of these IPOs, the really hot ones, when they go about 6 to 12 months down the road, they find that the price drops. So to some extent, you can make an argument that some of these IPOs, particularly in a really hot market like this, become a little bit like pump and dump schemes. They become a little bit like pump and dump schemes where basically there are insiders who have more information than you, insiders who know, what the company is expected to do, what it could do, and what could go wrong, right? They know these things. You don't know these things. That's what they call information asymmetry. Your information is not symmetric. Your information is asymmetric, where the amount that you know is here, the amount that they know is here. So there's an argument to be made that the reason that they put the stock out in the market in the first place is because they're looking for somebody to buy it before they find out about all the risks that are inherent in this company. So while the getting's good, while it's extremely popular, let's put it out there so people will pay a high price. So it's just like it's no different from like if you're an actor and you give a really great speech at the Academy Awards and you become super popular because of that great speech. Well, then that's when your agent says, let's go get you signed for your next movie deal because you won't be this hot next year. Right? The chances of you staying this hot are very low. So we need to go get as much as we can right now while you're hot. Well, a lot of companies think the same way. The managers are saying, look, everybody loves Airbnb right now. Let's go get the money while it's hot. Elon Musk, same thing. He realized that Tesla is really hot right now. So he released some documentation stating that they're going to release a few million shares every now and then to raise money while the getting's good, while the market's hot. The market will not always be this hot. The market is at some point going to decline. And when that happens, the first stocks to go down are going to be the Airbnbs and the DoorDashes because they're overpriced to begin with. When you get to that point where people don't have money to burn anymore, where people are not really, where they don't have an appetite for risk anymore, when they're not looking to just pay any amount of money for a company just because they think the company's cool anymore, then that's when you're going to see, that's when you separate the men from the boys or the women from the girls. The solid companies from the companies that are built on hopes and dreams, the strong companies versus the zombie companies that were propped up with stimulus checks and PPP loans, things like that. So you got to know the difference for your portfolio, or you might get body slammed when the next market crash arrives. There is no if when it comes to market crashes. There is only a win. It is going to happen. You have to make sure you're prepared, and I wish you the best in doing that. So I'm going to go, guys. By the way, don't forget the Black Real Estate Weekends next weekend. We believe that real estate is one of the 3 pillars of wealth that's extremely important for your long-term investing. If you want to join us on the weekend on the 19th, go to blackrealestateweekend.com. The URL is right there on the screen. We got a ton of real estate experts coming in that can talk to you about everything from buying your first home to tax lien selling to multifamily property to commercial real estate, etc. And I think you're going to love it. So feel free to go to blackrealestateweekend.com. And I'm out of here, guys. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to know what I think about Airbnb and Doordash stock, I did not invest. I will not invest. I have no interest in those companies. I saw somebody mention Disney. I like Disney a lot. Disney is a solid company that has a strong future, and Disney's already showing that their stock is already moving because they're kind of giving you a glimpse of the amazing things they're going to do now that they focus on streaming. You think Disney's strong right now? Wait till the pandemic is over. Wait till those parks open back up. Wait till live sports are available again. Watch what happens to that stock. I'm not saying for sure, but my greatest instincts tell me that Disney is going to be a hell of an investment over the next 5 years. But that's just my 2 cents. That's what I believe. Sometimes we're wrong, but I'm just giving you my best assessment on this. So take care, guys. What's the URL for the Stock Options Masterclass? It's stockoptionsmasterclass.com. That's stockoptionsmasterclass.com. So I got to go, guys. What about Pfizer stock? I have Pfizer, but I don't have a strong opinion about it one way or the other. They benefited a lot from the pandemic, but I don't know if they're going to benefit in the future. So Pfizer is, it all really comes down to how much money they actually make compared to what they're expected to make. And they're expected to make a lot of money once that vaccine's out there. So take care, guys. I'm gone. Have a good day. I'll see you soon. Be good. Peace.